My father worked at the same company for 37 years. Same desk, same building, same routine. Every single day. He started in 1978, at age 23. He retired in 2015 at age 60. And you know what he got for those 37 years of loyalty? A pension that pays him $3,200 a month for the rest of his life, plus full health care coverage until he qualifies for Medicare. He worked 37 years. Now he has been retired for 11 years and will probably live another 20. He'll collect more money in retirement than he earned in his last 15 years of working. That was the deal. That was the promise. Work hard. Stay loyal. Retire comfortable. Now, let me tell you what happens if you follow that same path today. You work 30 years at one company. You are a model employee. You climb the ladder slowly, steadily. And at the end, you get a 401 with maybe 400,000 in it if you are lucky. No pension. No health care. No guaranteed income. That 400,000 generates roughly 1,300 per month using the 4 withdrawal rule. My dad gets 3,200 month for doing the same thing you did. Today, I am going to show you exactly when and why the pension promise died, and what you are supposed to do now, that nobody's coming to save you. Act 1. What actually happened? Let me show you what changed between my father's generation and yours. The 1980s pension system. In 1980, 38% of private sector workers had a defined benefit pension. That means your employer promised you a specific monthly payment in retirement based on your years of service and final salary. Example formula. 2 years of service, average of final 5 years salary. Work 30 years, average final salary of 60,000. Pension 230, 60,000, 36,000 per year, 3,000 month for life. You didn't manage it. You didn't worry about the stock market. You just worked, and the money showed up every month in retirement. What exists today? By 2024, only 15% of private sector workers have access to a defined benefit pension, and most of those are in legacy companies, where pensions were grandfathered in, but closed to new employees. What replaced pensions? The 401. The 401 was created in 1978 as a tax loophole for executives to defer compensation. It was never intended to replace pensions, but in the 1980s and 1990s, companies realized something brilliant. They could eliminate pensions and shift the risk to employees. Instead of promising 3,000 a month for life, they said, "We'll match 3 to 6 of your contributions, and you figure out the rest." The math on this shift: old system, pension, company's obligation, 3,000 a month for potentially 30 years of retirement. Company's risk: market downturns, longevity risk, funding shortfalls. Total cost to company: 1.08 million over 30 years of retirement. New system: 401. Company's obligation: 3 to 6 match on your contributions for the years you work. Company's risk: 0. Once they match, they're done. Total cost to company: maybe 2,000 to 4,000 per year per employee while working. For a 30-year employee. Old system cost to company: 1,080,000 in retirement payments. New system cost to company: 90,000 in matching contributions. The company just saved 990,000 per employee. And you got 90,000 in matching contributions and told to invest wisely. This wasn't about helping employees. This was about transferring risk and cutting costs. Act 2. Why loyalty doesn't pay anymore. Now let's talk about what happens when you try to follow the old playbook in the new system. You graduate at 22. You get hired at a good company. 55,000 starting salary. You think, "I'll work here 30 years. Climb the ladder, and retire with a solid 401. Here is what actually happens. Year 1 to 5. The learning phase. You contribute 6 to your 401 to get the full company match. Salary: 55,000. Your contribution: 3,300 year. Company match: 3,300 year. Total invested: 6,600 year. After 5 years, assuming 8 returns and small raises, You have about 45,000 in your 401. Year 6 to 15, the stagnation phase. You are still at the same company. You got promoted once or twice. You are now making 75,000. But here is the problem. You are underpaid. Someone who job hop 2 to 3 times over the same period is making 95,000 for the same work. Why? Because companies give 2 to 3 annual raises to loyal employees, but have to offer 15 to 20 more to hire new people. You just cost yourself 20,000 a year by being loyal. Over 10 years, that is 200,000 in lost earnings, which means 200,000 that didn't go into your 401, which means, invested at 8 over the remaining 15 years, you lost 634,000 in retirement wealth. Your loyalty cost you 634,000. Year 16 to 30, the diminishing returns phase. You are a senior employee, now making 95,000, but the company starts seeing you as expensive. They hire younger employees at 60,000 to do similar work. During the next downturn, who do you think gets laid off? The 95,000 veteran or the 60,000 new hire? You do. At age 52, after 30 years of loyalty, you are laid off. Your 401 has maybe 650,000 if you were diligent. But you are 52. You need this money to last 40 years. At 4 withdrawal rate, 26,000 year. You went from a 95,000 salary to 26,000 year in income, and there is no pension to supplement it. Meanwhile, someone who job hops strategically every 3 to 5 years, they maximize salary increases each move. They're making 140,000 by age 52. They contributed more to their 401 because they earned more. They have 1.2 million saved. That is 48,000 year in retirement income. Same work, same years, different strategy. Double the retirement income. Act 3. The promises that disappeared. The pension wasn't just about monthly payments. It came with other guarantees that no longer exist. Promise 1. Inflation protection. Most pensions included cost of living adjustments, COLAs. Your 3,000 month pension would increase 2 to 3 annually to keep pace with inflation. In 20 years, your 3,000 becomes 4,800 in actual payments. Your 401, you are withdrawing from a fixed pot of money. No adjustments. No raises. If inflation spikes, you either withdraw more, depleting your savings faster, or accept a lower standard of living. Promise 2. Lifetime income guarantee. Pensions pay until you die. Live to 95. Still getting checks. Your 401. You have to make it last. If you live longer than expected, you run out of money. And here is the terrifying statistic. A 65-year-old today has a 50 chance of living past 85, and a 25 chance of living past 90. If you retire at 65 with 500,000, and you live to 95, that money needs to last 30 years. At 20,000 year withdrawal, you are out of money at 90. Then what? Promise 3. Health care coverage. Many pensions included retiree health care until age 65, when Medicare kicks in. That is worth 12,000 to 18,000 per year. Your 401 plan? Nothing. You are paying 1,200 to 1,500 on for individual health insurance from 60 to 65. That is 72,000 to 90,000 out of your savings before you even qualify for Medicare. Add it all up. Old pension package value, 3,000 month for life. 1.08 million over 30 years. COLA adjustments, additional 300,000. Health care coverage, 90,000. Total value, 1.47 million guaranteed. Your 401 package, 500,000 saved, if you are lucky. No inflation adjustments, no health care coverage. Risk of running out. You are getting 34 of what your parents got for the same work. Act 4. What you're supposed to do now. So what are you supposed to do in a world where 30 years of loyalty doesn't lead to a pension? Reality 1. You are your own pension fund. Nobody is managing your retirement for you. No company, no government. Social Security replaces only 40 of your income. You have to build your own pension. That means maxing out your 401 23,500 year in 2026, maxing out a Roth IRA 7,000 year, investing in taxable accounts. Beyond that, treating every dollar like it is your future pension payment. Reality 2. Loyalty is a trap. Job hopping every 3 to 5 years typically increases salary 10 to 20 per mov. Staying at one company increases salary 2 to 3 per year. Over 30 years, loyal employee, 55K 110K, 2 to 3 raises. Strategic job hopper, 55K 180K, 10 to 15 increases every 3 to 5 years. The job hopper earns 2.1 million more over 30 years. That extra money, invested at 8, becomes 3.5 million in additional retirement wealth. Loyalty costs you 3.5 million. Reality 3. You need 2.5 - 3 million to replicate a pension. Let's say you want 4,000 month in retirement income. Roughly what a modest pension provided. That is 48,000 year. At a 4 safe withdrawal rate, you need 1.2 million. But that is without inflation protection. To have a portfolio that can increase withdrawals with inflation and last 30 years, you realistically need 2 - 2.5 million. Most people will not get there by staying at one company for 30 years, contributing only enough to get the match, hoping everything works out. You might get there by switching jobs strategically to maximize income, maxing out all tax-advantaged accounts, living below your means and investing aggressively, starting early and letting compound interest do the work. Reality 4. The 4 rule might not work. The 4 rule: withdraw 4 of your portfolio annually assumes 30-year retirement. Balanced stock-bond portfolio. Historical market returns. In 2026, with lower expected returns and longer lifespans, some experts say 3 - 3.5 is safer. That means you need even more saved. 1 million used to be the magic number. Now it is 2.5 - 3 million. Let me be very clear about what happened. Your parents were promised a pension if they worked hard and stayed loyal. The company kept that promise because it was legally obligated to. You were promised nothing. You were given a 401 and told to figure it out. The deal changed. But nobody told you how much worse the new deal is. 30 years at one company doesn't get you a guaranteed monthly paycheck in retirement, healthcare coverage, inflation protection, peace of mind. It gets you a below market salary because you didn't job hop. A modest 401. That might run out. The responsibility of managing your own retirement. All the risk and none of the security. The old path is dead. Following it anyway is financial suicide. What you need to do: treat your career like a business. Move for money. Negotiate aggressively. Maximize earnings while you can. Invest like your life depends on it. Because it does. You are your own pension fund. Aim for 2.5 - 3 million by retirement, not 500K. The old targets don't work anymore. The harsh truth. The pension lie isn't that pensions disappeared. It is that we're still being told to act like they exist. Work hard. Be loyal. Everything will work out. It won't. Not anymore. If this video showed you how much the rules changed, subscribe. Your parents had a safety net. You don't. Plan accordingly. Thanks for watching.